Welcome to the Kendy and Raybo podcast, episode 46, recorded in Kendy's box room.
All right, Ray.
Yeah.
There's only one proper way to start this episode.
Not picked out just yet. Now he is. Fenton Craig steadies, shoots, and scores. Roscommon 2-12. Mayo 17 points.
Huh?
Do you really think that'd get to me? Do you really think that'd get to me?
Listen, the whole of Roscommon has gone demented. We're winning the All-Ireland, man.
You did well now, in fairness to you.
It was, is that the first time in like 33 years or some shit they beat Mayo in championship football or something?
Yeah, but I think Mayo are just mad for the spins during the early summer months. Let's go the back door, let's get 6 days out.
Yeah, they're sick to the brim of maybe winning 4 games to get into the All-Ireland final. So in the last 2 years they said, let's play 17 games instead.
Yeah, but if you're going to do a feature film about the underdogs and how they managed to successfully win the All-Ireland final, you have to go the back door.
You do have to come straight in through the back door.
Yeah, Mayo love the back door.
I tell you, there's fellas up and down Mayo, man. They'd only use the back door. Some of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna get someone go beat me up.
Listen, man.
I'm gonna get bet up in my own town.
Listen, there's great passion in Roscommon football considering the lack of success. And I don't mean that in a scrutinising way. There actually is savage passion inside in Roscommon. And that win at the weekend has just thrown people up into the air. And I'd get in trouble for saying that I kind of follow Galway football a wee bit more. But I appreciate when a game like that is won. And I always appreciate when Mayo get bet. So,
what was it Joe Brawley said? He said it's actually really entertaining watching them lose.
Yeah, he loves watching Mayo lose. Yeah.
I better not. I have to defend Mayo's honour here.
Yeah.
And say, can we just shut up about it?
But listen, I haven't got the clip of it because it's not released yet, but we have to get it. Have you ever heard of Willie Hegarty?
Who?
Shannon Side Radio's commentator for GAA.
No, I haven't.
Willie, man, is a Roscommon legend, and anyone who's from Roscommon listening to this will know who Willie is.
Right.
And apparently he was ecstatic when Roscommon went out and bet Mayo. And I couldn't find that clip, but if you want to find out what Willie is all about, this is when Roscommon bet Galway 2 years ago in the Connacht final.
Right.
And this is
Willie.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the Willie.
Right.
Galway 12 points. Look at those scenes. Pierce Stadium is awash with primrose and blue. A historic day. Roscommon have come to Pierce Stadium and they have blown Galway out of the water. Roscommon 2-15. Galway 12 points. Roscommon didn't read the script. Galway read the script. Roscommon are Connacht champions. Look at the scenes.
How's that bad supposed to keep his voice?
Galway are absolutely dejected. They didn't see the train coming. Roscommon have trampled Galway into the ground. David, a historic afternoon for Roscommon football.
So that is, the height of unbiased commentary there from Willie. Fair play to him. Some unbelievable stuff, Ray, that he's known for his quotes.
Right, go on.
The Willie quotes, right?
Willie quotes.
He mad for Willie quotes.
Right.
They may as well be in Bethlehem because they'll need 3 wise men to dig them out of this hole. Paul Harty looks like he's got extendable arms. He must have bought them in a hardware shop in Mullingar earlier. What the fuck is that?
They're very colloquial sayings.
St. Patrick didn't get rid of all the snakes in Ireland. There's still a few of them in Crossmid Lane. And he's sticking to him like chewing gum on the shoe.
That's very good.
He's lethal for us.
So thank you for introducing me to Willie.
Man, if you want to just look up some Willie quotes, boys.
Yeah, Willie quotes.
And I'm going to try and get, it's not released yet, I'm on to Shannon's side to try and get, apparently he cursed and everything, and obviously in live radio you can't pull that out.
No.
But jeez, he lost it all together. But that's the big fair play to Roscommon GAA, lads. We're winning the All-Ireland.
Yes,
I'm going to write a tune. I'm going to write an All-Ireland tune. Not premature.
Mm-hmm.
I think you beat Mayo in the Connacht semi-final. You can pretty much start writing your All-Ireland tune.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
and release it.
I'm going to release it, have the whole thing done.
Yeah, good.
I'm going to do a parade through Roscommon town before the Nestor Cup is even decided. Really.
Lovely.
So get ready for that.
It is episode 46, my friend.
Yes, it is.
We've taken to drinking the beers now before we start.
I'm starting with a standard Fox's Rock Red Ale, and it is beautiful. It tastes just like Smithwick's, man.
And I'm having a Smithwick's. Blonde.
Yeah, it didn't take off. I enjoyed it. Didn't take off right around this country, the Smithwick's Blonde.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's really nice, yeah.
Where do we start off?
Start at the beginning and see where it finishes.
Right, well, where I wanted to start was the Spice Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear the reviews of the Spice Girls gig in Croke Park?
I did. I heard a couple of sceptical reviews and perhaps negative ones.
Yes. Now, the negative reviews was mostly concentrated not on the girls' performance.
No.
Apparently the girls did a fine job.
Oh, they were jumping around, leaping around.
For ones that hadn't gigged in a few years.
I tell you what, it is 20 years since they done a stage dive and they were diving all over the place. Fair play to them.
I'm going to try and, I suppose, get to grips with what might have happened as they were loading into Croke Park. So the Spice Girls rigid, you know, the more than innate cartridges of this world.
Yeah,
the Spice Girls rigid pulled up outside the back of Croke Park. And this lad came down in a high-vis vest. You know the lads that you'd find at these country festivals in towns?
Headphones on.
Where are you going with that, lads? Where are you going with that, lad? This street is closed. Hello, you can't park it there. And then obviously the Spice Girls lad will come out, all right, mate, yeah, we're with the Spice Girls. Yeah, we're getting here setting up Craig Park.
And you're booked in tonight, are you?
You're booked in tonight, are you? No, man, we're playing on Friday night. I know it's Wednesday, but we got a big rig, you know?
They don't have a big rig.
Yeah, but hold on, this is what happened, right? So the two English lads anyway got out of the rigid, right? And they went up and your man, the high-vis, showed them round and up the corridor. Now, it was up a set of steps. Then they go up the escalator and then they come down another set of stairs and they go in and they go on to the pitch. And they're looking at it and they're going, Jesus, that's a shitload in. Right? They were the cover band equivalent of when a cover band would end up at a wedding or at a big bar with a shitload in and they go, feck it, we leave half the PA in the van, lads.
It'll be grand.
We don't need it to be grand. And do you know what happens?
It wasn't grand.
It never is grand.
Yeah.
You always need it.
Yeah.
If you think you don't need it, you do need it. You need the extra speakers. You're just being lazy.
So you reckon they just skimped a bit on the speakers going in?
I reckon they left half the PA in the van because they couldn't be arsed bringing it up the stairs.
Because that was the complaint, is that the sound was very bad.
Sound was cat.
And as Jan-Luc Devaney alluded to on Facebook, he said, I mean, sure, just an iPod plugged in. They didn't have a band with them, like, just backing tracks.
I know.
How did they get the sound so wrong?
Because they left half the PA in the van, lad.
It's a big area, man, that Croke Park, you know?
I seen the old Coldplay lads up there, and that was a fierce night. But they had speakers coming out of their ears.
Go ahead.
There were speakers beside me in the seat.
Everyone had their own PA system, every seat, man.
But that was the Spice Girls anyway.
Yeah.
And then Saturday came.
Yeah.
I'm telling you my story weekend. It's kind of like Ray's weekend story.
Yeah, a lot of time we start off this podcast with what did Ray do for the weekend?
What did Ray do? Because this is normally a Monday, and today is a Monday.
It is a Monday.
It is a Monday, and on the Saturday, I hadn't many jobs.
Go on.
I suppose one of the jobs I had was I had to get new boxers because I had run out of them. Now, I had a debate. Did we talk about boxers before on this show?
I have a weird feeling we might have, but go on
Well,
anyway.
then if we hadn't, so you'll know where I buy my boxers.
You're asking me to remember 45 episodes.
You should know this about me.
Did you buy them in pennies?
No, I do not buy them in pennies.
Dunnes Stewart.
Yeah, Dunnes Stewart. That's where I buy my boxers. Yeah. Now, Colin Mulhern did say to me, why don't you get on TK Maxx, get a fancy pair? Because I don't know what to fit me. I know the ones in Dunnes fit me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you can try them on in duds, and if they don't fit, you can put them back in them.
Well, we're getting to that. Right, anyway, so on the Saturday, I had to go get boxes because I was running low on them.
Uh-huh.
You know the way?
Well,
you'd be running low on them.
How could you be running low on them?
Just boxers have a tendency to run out. Do you know?
Well, you have a tendency to run out on them, and then they become old.
Yeah. Or an old threaded run on them, you know, and then all of a sudden there'd be a massive hole, and you'd be just wearing a pair of crotchless panties. It wouldn't be a pair of boxers at all. So I says I'm going to go down to Dunn's and get myself some boxers, and I said I'd get a few other bits as well, like a bath mat and whatnot. When I went down, and I do buy the hipsters.
Oh, do you buy hipster boxers?
The 3-pack hipsters.
Aye.
Right? They're not the ones with the hole in now for taking young fella out.
Yeah,
they're just the standard ones that you have to pull down.
They're called white fronts, Ray, the one with the hole in them.
No, but you can get keyhole trunks as well.
What?
Old man keyhole trunks, yeah, I do call them.
You whip out the Mickey in between
There's two little buttons and you can unbutton them. That's far too much work.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, I went for the hipsters. Now, there was 2 packs and they're just 2 different packaging and they're both called hipsters.
Right.
Right? And I'm thinking 2 cheeks of the same arse. What could be the difference? You know what I'm saying? Do you know? They're both the same thing, so I bought the 2.
Okay.
Right? I brought them home. And I had a sneaking suspicion because I got a dodgy pack in Dunn's before where they were slightly smaller than all my other ones.
Oh, no.
And they're not comfortable. When you're wearing a pair of boxers, they're not comfortable. They're not comfortable.
Yeah, they're too tight by.
Yeah.
You won't get a moment's peace all day.
So I opened up the first pack, tried one on. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Tried the other one on from the other pack.
Uh-huh.
Not so much.
Right.
No.
Why are you saying that?
I'm
Turned
saying
into a tongue.
It was a little bit tight.
Right.
They were both large, just to fit myself into them. And they should be the same size.
Uh-huh.
Shouldn't they?
Well, you would expect that 2 hipster boxers
would be the
that are
same
both
size.
large.
Well, they weren't. No, one pack was smaller than the other.
Why is that?
So I went down and I exchanged it.
What?
Yeah.
But you tried them on.
Shut up about it.
That is rotten, man. Did you do that? Yeah. That's rotten. My God. You're so cheap as well, man. How much are the boxers in Duns?
Well, the ones that were slightly smaller were €6, and the ones that were bigger were 12. So there must have been more material in the bigger ones.
You were trying to save £6, so you gave back dirty, smelly jocks into a shop. Don't buy jocks and Duns. You get Ray's bag sweat. If you're hanging around Sligo when you go, I'll pop into Duns.
I didn't think he'd take them back. He did. Oh, that was great.
Ray's smelly gooch sweat melted all over it, man.
They weren't on me for long.
And they're on you for long enough.
No,
man.
it was just after I just had a shower. So it was brand. It didn't probably even touch me.
No, honest to God.
Anyway, with the shite hawking trying to get the boxers back, I was delayed of the Saturday doing my messages.
Yeah, the few bits.
I had to do a few bits on the Saturday, and I got delayed. And one of the few bits I was supposed to do was supposed to go get my hair cut.
Oh, you didn't get done?
I didn't get me done. And normally I would tip out to Rory's Maitland.
Rory's Maitland, the
Rory's
finest
Maitland,
barber.
Collooney, he is the finest barber.
He is actually the finest barber.
That I know anyway.
But for sure.
Now, I didn't get out, but there was a problem. In that, in not getting out, I had an issue with a quiff on my head. I had let it go too long. You know, lads, when you let it go too long, and she's not sitting right at all.
It was standing up on top of your head.
It was. And I had a thing on Monday where I needed a tight haircut for. I said to myself, well, I try and fix this. And I said, no, I'm not going to chance this.
Don't tell me you're going to go cutting your own skull.
I didn't.
Don't.
I didn't. Surely of a Sunday, there's someone down the town that could just sort out the quiff at the front. Right? And tipped down the town. I went into Johnson's Court, and I went into Tesco Arcade, and I went all around the town. I have to be careful here now. I went all around the town to a variety of different barbers, and I chose one.
Okay.
And I went into the door and I said, could you please fix the quiff that I've got going on here? The quiff was out at that point. He said, yes, we can. And I'm saying that in a neutral accent so as not to indicate who I went to.
So that is not his real voice, is what you're saying?
No, that is not his real voice. He said, yes, of course we can fix your quiff.
Lovely.
So I proceeded to sit in the chair, and the man set about fixing my quiff. Lovely. And it is at this point that we should tell the listeners at home that for the duration of this podcast so far, I have been sitting in the room here with a hood up.
Yeah, I asked you at the start, why have you got your hood up? You look like a rapper.
I do look like a rapper.
You wouldn't even answer me.
I couldn't answer you because I had to tell the story. I couldn't lose the effect.
I said, Ray's been a pig. I can't wait to see this.
I'm going to take my headphones off. I'm going to put them down responsibly.
Always put your headphones down responsibly. Guys.
Always do that. So I'm going to take the hood off now, and I want you to be on the mic, and I want you to tell the people at home what you see.
Oh my God.
Oh no. I got assaulted, Kendy.
Ray. That won't grow back.
Shut up, will you?
You asked him to fix the quiff. And that's what he did to you.
That's what he did to me.
Man, you look, I don't know, you look like an MMA fighter who's lost all his fights. You've got the badass haircut, but it doesn't suit you because you keep getting the head kicked to you.
Look at the back of my head.
Oh my God, above.
One thing he did was he did the bald patch on my crown. He managed to blend it in with the rest of my head.
Ray, I have never seen you with hair that tight. He almost shaved your head, but he left you with that stupid mohawk. It looks like Ray is one of those. You look like Chuck Liddell. Everyone right now, go Google Chuck Liddell.
Now, can I just talk about that experience? Because I sat in that chair, I trusted that man. I thought all he was going to do, take out a pair of scissors and cut the quiff.
Cut the quiff, bro.
Cut the quiff. And he didn't. He started in with the mowing blade. And I did like every other Irish man in this country would do.
Yeah.
I sat there like a silent victim. There's something else Irish we don't talk about. Please. I'd say every man out there, and most of the women I know, you've all had one of these incidents where you went in and you put your trust in a professional and they did you wrong.
I know. Ray, I'm getting a wee bit teary when you're talking about it, but if it wasn't for people like you telling your story now, I don't think anything would be done. There's a stigma involved.
There is.
Why do we, when a mirror gets put behind our head and they say, how does that look for you? Why do we all say,
yep, great.
Yep.
I broke down in tears after it happened.
I know, but you shouldn't have to
and
go through
I rang
that,
my barber. I rang Rory.
Yeah, trusted barber.
We trusted barber. I rang him because the other part of it was I felt like I cheated on him.
It's unbelievable at a time of turmoil like this, and you're still thinking about other people, Ray. You're an inspiration. Listen, Rory will be fine. Honest to God, Rory, with you.
This morning when I got up, I normally have a shower and I went to blow dry my hair, which I normally do.
And there's nothing there to blow dry.
This was me blow dry my hair. That's me blow dry my hair. That was me finished.
I suppose that's one of the upsides.
No, it's not upside. I enjoy blow drying my hair.
Listen, I think it's time to start a hashtag, lads, because enough is enough.
What are you going to
Stop
hashtag?
the barber abuse. It's the worst thing I've ever seen, man. My God. It's like he said, come here, are you going a wee bit bald at the front there? Why don't I allude to it even further? My God above.
This cat.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, that was my story. Next time I'm going to get my hair cut, you know where I'm going to be going?
Straight out to Rory's Maitland.
To my trusted barber.
Yeah.
Who doesn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
He
Also, it's
yeah.
important to note that Rory does not sponsor this show. He's just a savage barber. Fair play to him.
And I'm sorry, Rory.
You go, fella.
Sorry for what I've done. Oh, and I meant to say as well,
Go on.
if you've been affected by any of the issues raised in this podcast, there is a helpline.
086
086.
12 34 56 7.
Yeah, and that's a direct line. If you want to seek help regarding the stories we've told in this podcast, you call that line.
We're always here to listen.
Yeah, hashtag barber abuse.
Come here. Waiting to tell you now. I went back home last week
You did.
because it was Meow Lady's birthday. She won't like me saying which one, but it was a big one.
Happy birthday, Geraldine.
Happy birthday, Geraldine. Yeah, she turned 21. I went back home to Castlereagh, which I don't often get a chance to do, Ray. I do be flat out, so I do. You.
So I'm cracking up at the Carlsberg here, lads. It's beer number 2 time.
So Mum said we go get dinner. This is a big event.
Well, sometimes it's nice to eat out, and sometimes it's not nice to
Sometimes
eat
it's
out.
nice to stay at home and eat, but this time we decided it was nice to go out and eat.
Yeah,
And
fair
we went
enough.
to the one place that everyone goes to in Castlereagh because it's the only restaurant.
Right.
Hester's.
Right.
Fair play to them. In there, got to drop a grub. I was dropping Mam home, and we were driving by Tully's Hotel, right?
That's where my mother and father went on their honeymoon.
That's right.
Yeah,
Big spot now. And Mam says, oh, Mark, pull in. It's the smoking nun.
What?
And she said, they're all talking about her. I said, who? She said, look, there was a nun standing outside Tully's Hotel, smoking a fag with a big happy head in her. Everybody in Castlereagh is talking about it.
Was she from Castlereagh?
No,
Is she one of the missionary nuns?
she's an outsider.
All right.
Now, rumours are gone rampant in the office, Ray, and across the whole town. Some people are saying it's not a woman, that's a fella in a penguin costume or a nun outfit, and that maybe they're evil and Mam got a close-up sighting, like David Attenborough job of the smoking nun. And I had to pull in and watch. I said, Mam, you've nothing to be doing, lovey. This has got very bad. We're sitting in a car park watching a nun smoke a fag
And does she
outside.
look like a real nun?
She looks like she is a nun, Ray.
But you said some fellas are saying that she's a man dressed up as a nun.
My mother asked me the question, Mark, does that look like a fella now or a woman?
Right.
I said, Ma'am, that's a woman.
Yeah.
And then when we
And
drove,
you know what they look like.
I know women, man,
You do.
in a nun outfit or not.
Hmm.
There's none of them can pull the wool over my eyes.
Very good. Very
Ma'am
good.
says to me, I said, Ma'am, that's a woman. And when we drove by, the nun smiled at us driving by. And
Yeah.
Ma'am said, oh, she's after smiling at us. And she had to go back to work and tell all the women, I saw her. You did not, did you?
The smoking nun.
The smoking nun. Castlereagh anyway is rampant, man, with rumours about this smoking nun. And
Right.
where she, some people say she came from America, some say she came from Dublin.
Yeah.
Some say she has a pair of balls and a Mickey.
Right.
All I know is she was smoking fags outside Tully's Hotel.
The latest news from Castlereagh,
There we go.
County Roscommon.
Castlereagh, big news, the smoking nun. We have to get it sorted out, Ray.
We'll have to find her. If you know the smoking nun out there,
Or if you even are the smoking nun out there,
give us a ring.
we need to have a look at you. Him, he, her, she, that. Fair play to her.
Yep.
Now, Ray, the elections.
Oh, yeah. Come here.
I can't believe we didn't start off with it, boy. So it's now Monday evening. Not everybody is elected in Europe, yes. We've
No.
got our Sligo local councillors.
We have.
So fair play to everyone who got through.
Fair play to Gino.
Fair play to Gino. Fair play to him. Yeah.
I gave him one.
You gave him one.
You did.
Ray gave Gino one.
Gino, I'm not afraid to say that about you, my fellow man. I give you one.
Him along with everyone else, Ray.
Yeah.
You know, tis almost done and dusted now. They're still counting above in Castlebar, I think.
Yeah. Do you think would be chance ringing Maria Power?
And here we go again, getting the European candidate's name wrong. But you know what? I'm not going to correct this. I'm going to leave us calling her Maria Power, because at least then she can't sue us for defamation. Anyway, enjoy. Do you want to try this?
I chance. I have her number
Give
here.
Maria Power a bell.
She'd be above at the counting centre as well. Hang on a second now. I'm very excited. She looks very well in her poster. Hello, Maria. Is Kendy and Raybo here from the Kendy and Raybo podcast?
Oh, hello.
How are you doing? I know we've caught you now at a bad time. You're probably flat out there, are you?
I am, yes. I'm always campaigning, doing things for children and whatnot, and the environment, as you can see.
Well, you wouldn't be campaigning anymore, would you? Because it's over now, isn't it? Or are you still campaigning?
Oh, I'm always campaigning, always about the North and Midwest, all of it. Oh,
how's it actually going for you up there?
How exhausting it was. Oh, God, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible having to answer stupid questions, you know. I mean, that Saoirse McHugh, oh, God, my head wrecked there, you know, coming in on the I'm young too bandwagon, you know. There she was, you know, campaigning for, I don't know, the climate. I mean, I have a keep cup. I have several keep cups. I could have easily had that in my campaign about having me with my keep cups and taking selfies, but I didn't. I didn't do that. Saoirse did that with her low glow of like having videos about that. I was there, you know. I had Mary Robinson. I had like, you know, Tamagotchis. That's what people really care about.
You did some very good videos, I have to say to you now, Maria. I was impressed.
Of course you were impressed, you know, and like it just really cut through to the core of everyone.
And come here, what about young Peter Casey? Would you consider him? I know he's chopping at your heels at the minute. I think he's 8,000 votes behind you. Do you think he has any hope at all catching you?
No.
Just no.
I am just flying up ahead. I am steamrolling straight ahead. I will murder him. But yeah.
I'll tell you, Maria.
I eat people like Peter Casey for breakfast. So I do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Maria, you're fairly pulling the wool over the country's eyes by that. Yeah. It's unbelievable to see what you're really like.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I'm so glad you called me. This is amazing. Just to get my message out there about young people issues. Yeah, because I'm hip and I'm a young woman who knows things about young people.
You do.
And I will be doing young people things.
Yeah, okay, Maria, we're going to leave it at that there now.
Thanks, Maria.
Thanks, Maria. Fair play to you.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Maria Power, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Tell ya. Now, is that not a candidate you could get behind?
Well, I'll tell you what. No, the country tried to get behind her.
Would you give her one?
Huh?
Would you give her one?
The one.
The one, yeah, on the ballot sheet. Did you give her one?
I didn't actually, no.
Did you not give her one?
I wouldn't give her one, no.
I was tempted to give her one.
I don't think she was interested in my one.
I ended up giving her a 4.
You gave her a 4?
I gave her a 4.
Did you?
Yeah. No.
Bit of 4 before the 1?
I had to give her 4. Sure, I had other people to give 1 to. In fairness, I was a bit distraught at who I ended up giving 1 to.
Who would you give it to?
Well, I went in and I looked at the ballot paper and I looked at the big long list of candidates on it, and I had many notions of giving Saoirse McHugh 1.
Right.
Because I think she's a nice girl.
You wanted to give Saoirse McHugh 1?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't I give her 1? You know, but I says to myself, I looked out at the ballot paper and only one thing looked out at me.
Go on.
The overwhelming power of Ming.
Oh, I tell you.
He just looked at me and I looked back at him and that was it.
He has eyes, man, that can sift into your gut to find the number 1 vote.
But I didn't even intend to vote for the man.
That's what I'm saying, man. He comes straight down your gob, into your gut, and he'd rip out a number 1 vote, man. He'd cape it.
He just took me by surprise, so I ended up giving him the 1.
You gave Ming 1? You didn't intend to?
No, I didn't intend to. I gave Saoirse the 2.
Lovely.
You know.
I didn't go any further than 2.
Oh, geez, I gave Maria the Guinness the 3 and I gave Maria Power the 4.
I didn't use my votes properly.
You probably didn't.
We shouldn't be telling people this. They'd be giving out stink to us.
What did you do?
I
you
only
wrote
gave
Mayo for Sam, didn't you? You tried to write Roscommon for Sam, but you realised you weren't down.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Hey, as we alluded to earlier by it, it's not going to be that way this year. But come here, I only give 1.
Okay.
Just Ming, that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
We could phone them.
Who?
Ming.
You want to phone Ming?
I have his number. I know a few people, you know.
You know some people in the business?
I know people in the business. They're in the government. So how would I not know people?
You want to ring Ming?
Me and the ministers are tight like. You
ring
know?
Ming.
I'm going to ring Ming.
Ring Ming.
Imagine if that was his phone tone.
Ming Ming.
Oh, that has to be in the office in Europe. You know, when someone, Jean-Claude Juncker is ringing him. Ming Ming. Ming Ming. And his doorbell even in Castlereagh. Oh, no, stop it. Right. I'm going to ring him. I'm dialing. Ming Ming.
Hello, how's things?
Jesus.
How are you doing? Ming, you don't know me now. My name is Raybo, and I'm here joined by Kendy on the Kendy and Raybo podcast. And we said we'd give you a wee call to see how you were getting on down at the Count Centre.
Look, it's absolute pandemonium down here. They have about 658,000 of the boxes now opened.
Right.
The count is going very well. It's a bit unpredictable as these counts can be, but look, at the end of the day, it has been a fantastic weekend so far. Right. Because, not because I'm going to get elected, but because Roscommon beat Mayo. That's the main thing. In
fairness, now you have to stop. I'll stop you right there now. Not that I'd have any interest in Gaelic football whatsoever, but something inside me twinges when a Roscommon man, points that out.
But look, unfortunately, what cannot be cured must be endured, as they say in political terms. I learned that in Brussels, so I did.
Very good. And come here, Ming, you might remember my colleague here. His name is actually Mark Kennedy, and he's from Castlereagh. You want to say hello there, Mark?
Yeah, Ming, how are you keeping? You know me very well, and I'll tell you why, Ming. Because about 15 years ago, you brought me to the bog for the first time ever, and the only time I was ever on the bog. And I absolutely hated it. You did, in fairness, give me 10 of the finest fivers to put into my pocket. Which I appreciate, but it's the only time I ever worked. I was wondering, do you remember that? Do you remember me being on the bog with you?
Hello? Have we lost me?
Sorry about that. A bit of technical difficulty, I think. Leo's chopper is after landing and probably cut the signal. Oh. But look, at getting back to the bog a number of years back. One thing I will say, the footing and the turning was not of the highest quality. Oh. But the one thing I thought that was fantastic was, how should we put it, the Apres bog, where we decided to take a couple of hours to chill the beans. And I want to reassure the listeners out there that the gorse fire that almost engulfed half of North Roscommon and South Leitrim was absolutely nothing got to do with us.
Kendy, you didn't tell me that end of the story.
Hey, Ming, will you shut up about it, will you, man?
But I think you had keeled over at that stage, so we had to put you in the back of the car.
Come here, Ming, now that we have you back there. Will you tell us, are you anyways worried about the green wave that's sweeping across the country? How are you feeling about that side of things?
Well, look, it's absolutely no surprise to me that there has been such a surge in the Green Party vote. Look, we all hear, and I hear it at the European level, about our carbon emissions. And what is surprising to a lot of commentators is how strong the Green vote has been in rural Ireland, and in particular the Midlands Northwest constituency. But it's absolutely no surprise to me, because the Green Party have made one promise, that is going to get them elected in rural Ireland for the next 100 years. They said if they get into power, they're going to totally ban turf cutting. And sure, any young fella out there with a half a brain in his head is going to vote for the Greens at that rate.
I suppose, yeah.
What kind of a simpleton wouldn't want a blanket turf cutting ban for an eternity? I mean, to hell with the carbon emissions. Who...
does it reverse all the work you were doing promoting the bog over in Europe?
I don't know, look, I just had to tell people what they wanted to hear. But look, now that I have the second term assured, I've got the full pension, the full deluxe package. So, I couldn't give two shits, to be honest, about getting re-elected. Right. I actually voted for Saoirse McHugh myself, because I'm absolutely sick to the teeth of going to the bog. And there's only a few of the old codgers in the constituency who are very fine people, it must be said, but are absolutely deluded in their desire to go back year on year. But that is the reality that we face.
And come here, have you any thoughts on your fellow candidates, the Mairead McGuinnesses and the Peter Caseys of this world? You've mentioned Saoirse McHugh, that you're fond of her. Sure, how could you not be? I gave her one. Well, I was tempted to give her one, but I ended up giving me one to you. I gave you one in the election, if I'm honest.
Look, it's my fellow candidates. Forget about what people say about Peter Casey. He's great crack,
That's true. I suppose you're right there.
He's slightly misunderstood in today's politically correct world. Oh. But at the end of the day, it might be unpalatable, but everything he says is absolutely 100% the gospel truth. And you can take that any way you like. Now, I can't say that publicly.
No.
My colleagues in government and in Europe can't say that publicly, but when we're having a pint behind closed doors, there is a consensus out there that the man is speaking the truth.
Ming, we have one more question for you, right? when you first got elected into, I think it was either local politics or the Dáil itself, you promised Castlereagh a roof on the outdoor pool. And I was only in Castlereagh last Tuesday myself, man. She's as open air now as the GA pitch.
As the day it was built.
Well, look, on the open air pool in Castlereagh, I'm actually delighted now that you mention it. I've actually got funding from the Border Midlands Fund, and we're going to actually turn it into a slatted shed. So there'll be no one swimming in it, only, God forbid, if a whaling or a bullock goes down through the slat. But that aside, it is going to be put, it's going to be a sustainable resource. It's going to provide vital, in the current homeless crisis, there's a few cattle in the Castlereagh area that could do with a bit of housing in the winter time. And I think we've recognised a very real need to address what is now becoming a humanitarian cow crisis in the town.
That's absolutely brilliant news.
In addition to that, even if there's a bit of overflow needed from the prison, Sir Feckett will fire them in there as well.
And
into the tank.
It's well set up as well. It's perfect.
Then put the slat on top.
Then put a slat on top.
Sorry, this isn't recorded live, is it?
Not at all.
No. Don't worry about that. No one listens to us anyway. Don't worry about that. Come here, Ming. Is there anyone else hanging around there? Is there? Because
hold on a second. Now I'm just here. God, there's a serious amount of people here.
Anyone we might know?
He's the man himself is here. Come here, you big-headed bollocks. It's Radker. Hold on a second.
Oh, Radker.
Hold on. Come here. Hey, Radker, you prick. Yeah, he's coming back.
This is marvellous. Thanks very much, Ming, for talking to us.
Yeah, put him on to us.
Hello.
Oh, Leo.
Oh, sorry. Ming told me it was Maria Bailey. Sorry.
No, you want from the swing.
I think that is a matter best dealt with by the judicial insurance fraud investigation
right, so
unit.
You've nothing to say on it then, Leo, no?
I do know that swings, the nature of swings is swings and roundabouts. Sorry, hold on a second. Sorry, my spin doctor is gone. He had all my notes. Look, I think today is a very, it's quite a challenging day for a lot of my parliamentary colleagues who have seen local councillors not get re-elected.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is sorry, I'm lost without notes.
Sorry, I have a question for you there, Leo. I met you once before when I was a younger man. You don't remember meeting me above in a pub in Dublin one night when I berated you about not being as great as Bertie Ahern? Do you remember that at all, no?
I actually, my recollection is somewhat scarce. But now that you mention it, I do remember encountering a 22-carat prick one night. Such as yourself.
Thanks very much. Yeah, that was me.
It's obvious that you haven't changed. Leopard hasn't changed its spot.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Now, thanks for you weren't saying no to the tequila roses. It was thrown over to you anyway. But moving on, there, I tell you though, Leo, you're the scepticism there about perhaps a general election in the offing. That perhaps with all these by-elections coming up, that you might have to call it there shortly enough. What do you think about that?
I believe that with the current Brexit impasse in the United Kingdom, I think we have a moral responsibility here to our own economy, to our own people, but more importantly to my own party, to drag that gobshite Neil Martin along for another year or two. And my God, he's an absolute idiot. I mean, can you just believe it? He is like just supporting us, and I just keep telling him, thanks to me all, Brexit and the uncertainty, and from a European perspective, it would be, it's seen as being, solidarity is will be recognised, and the absolute Egypt just
and he's listened to every bit of it.
And come here, Leo, you've kind of taken a wee bit of a hit in these local elections, probably alongside Fianna Fáil, and the Greens are coming up on top of you, and a couple of independents. Are you worried?
I'm not particularly worried myself personally. I've got about 1.8 million euros in the bank. If I do not get elected, I'll have an annual pension of about 285,000. So you tell me, kid, if you had that, would you be worried?
Yeah, true.
No questions.
Jesus, Leo, thanks very much for talking to us. Now, one last question. I know you put your backing behind young Maria Power there in the elections, and I know is she around at all?
Lovely girl. Maria's actually outside with the film crew from Fine Gael TV. So there's about 28 of them filming a new clip,
very good.
Which I'm assured will be even more cringe and cheesy and predictably awful than anything she put out during her campaign. But what can I say? The gobshites online, they're different.
It's great that you recognise that, Leo. It's very...
Let them eat cake.
Well, Leo, we're going to leave it there then. So, listen, thanks very much. You may give the phone back to Ming there. We don't want you running off with that, you know.
I would say there's a particular bang coming off the phone. I don't know what kind of...
Shut up, will you? Shut up about it. Leo, it's an absolute pleasure.
At the moment. Sorry, I'll hand you back to...
hand me back to Ming there. Yeah, thanks very much, Leo.
Sound, Leo. Look at you. See out in the bar. Yeah, grand. Yeah, green tea. Yeah, 2 digestives. No, yeah, and the Panadol. Yeah, no, it's gone there. Yeah, look at lads. It's that is the nature of town centres. I mean, it is full of the weird and wonderful, a bit like Castlereagh, but it's an experience. When Leo was talking there, I just nipped out for as you say, a little bit of fresh air. So
a little bit of fresh air.
The mood has lightened ever so slightly here.
Listen, Ming, thanks a million, and best luck with the rest of the evening now. By the time this goes out, you will probably be elected, so I would say my premature congratulations, boy. Yeah.
Well, look, it's whether we're elected or not. The most important thing is we're in the Connacht final.
Yeah. No, you said it,
not. Yeah. And that is the most important thing.
Well, I won't be giving you any premature congratulations, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well, look, I don't need your one vote when I have a surplus of 28,000.
Oh, yeah, boy, we are Ross, Ming, boy. Fair play to you.
Thanks very much, Ming. Thanks for talking to us today.
All right, pleasure, lads. Thanks.
We'll talk to you. Good luck.
Cheers, marvellous. Get the 2 boys on the phone. Huh?
That was something else. It's great talking to the man himself, you know.
Jeez.
Telling you.
In completely unrelated news to that last piece, we would like to thank Tierney Talks just for something that he might have done for us recently.
Aidan Tierney, he's a lovely fella.
Great fella.
Lovely fella. He did something there, you know.
Yeah.
And we'd just like to thank him.
All I'd say, he's a really good impersonator, Ray. Did you know that?
Aidan?
Yeah.
I didn't know that now.
Really good, yeah.
It would have made more sense, I suppose, if he'd rang him. He might have been more crack.
He could have impersonated them, probably.
He could have. Like, it would have saved us an awful pile of money on paying Ming and Leo the fees.
Paid his phone bill.
Yeah.
Listen, Tierney Talks.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's funny stuff. Fair play to him.
And I suppose on another note altogether now, just after talking there to Maria Power, fair play to her and everything going on, but also just a big shout out there to another girl we know. Her name is Christina McMahon.
All right.
A comedian.
Oh, an impersonator.
She does a little bit of impersonations, and she's a comedian. It just came to mind as I was talking there to Maria. Who you kept calling Marie, by the way. Yeah.
Means nothing to me.
On her own election campaign.
Oh yeah.
When our stuff went out, when that debate did go out on the Facebook and Instagram, you got a big reaction to some of your policies.
Some of the policies I think went down. I think in 5 years again when I run, I think some of them will stand.
Yeah.
The Instagram young one tax seems to be going down well. The push to get them to take their Instagrams off private.
You found a good reaction to that.
Huge with the fellas.
Yeah.
The male population I think it's important. Take your Instagrams off. We have to have a look at you.
Yeah.
To see what the goings on.
And you said you were going to actually you're going to oversee this Instagram young one tax.
I'll do it all.
What's the rules again? If they post more than 5 times a day and if they're in their underwear?
No, if they post a photo and then a tagline that has nothing to do with that photo.
Right.
So Ben Bulbin looks lovely today. I mean...
when are you going to continue with your Instagram young one
that is coming up
tribute?
Again. I have a new one coming, ready to go.
When are you going to do the yoga one?
The yoga one is
in your
coming,
underpants, up against the wall.
That one's coming, man. Don't worry.
Or by a swimming pool.
By the time this is out now, keep an eye for the next day or two. There's going to be another Kendy Instagram young one. So check out our Instagram page.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've said it before. If you want to become an Instagram young one, you have to get into the head of an Instagram young one. And I'm trying my damnedest. But anyway, Ray, in 5 years we'll go again.
Well,
for local elections.
I myself did a small bit of creative work at the weekend.
Did you?
Well, it wasn't at the weekend. It was during the week.
Go on.
I was sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And in the background, I heard the tap dripping.
All right.
Sean's Riley had left the tap running. Just kind of like
Dripping. Oh, yeah, nothing more annoying, man.
dripping.
That would drive you demented.
But it was dripping fairly fast.
Uh-huh.
It was like,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And I was hearing this and I was going, yeah. I was hearing the beat. Yeah. Woo! Come on. And I instantly heard a tune to go with said beat.
Go on.
And now this won't come across, obviously, on the podcast. I'm going to throw this up after this yoke goes out.
Okay.
But this was my attempt at trying to make a drip and tap sound like a dance tune.
Lovely.
Okay. No. No. Wasn't going well. Fucking wrong note. Oh, Jesus. Stop it. Then I dropped the camera. This was the big run now. This is where I got it right. Oh yeah. Banging disco in the kitchen.
Oh, you're on sync there, boy.
Yeah. I'm on sync. Yeah!
Thank you, good night.
Yeah, that was really good. And then at the end, I got it right then at the end, yeah.
Hey, keep an eye out for Ray's brand new dance tune.
Yeah.
On sync.
On sync, yeah!
And if that is a lesson to anyone out there, it is that easy to make a hit nowadays.
That's a lot of Timbaland stuff was made on sync.
So that's going to be, video's going to be released this week. Keep an eye on our Facebook page and our Instagram for
And
Ray's
do you
new
know-
tune.
Do you know what we didn't do either? We didn't put out the nappy video.
Yeah, the nappy video is coming as well. We've been flat out making election videos and all that. We are going to release this week also. Keep an eye on the Instagrams and the Facebooks. A video of Kendy changing his first ever Jesus nappy.
Come here now. We have to give a big shout out to Steve Miles,
Right.
the very man that essentially took the history section out of our podcast.
Yeah, he killed it. Yeah.
He killed it stone dead.
Yeah.
But big shout out to him nonetheless. He started a new thing.
Oh, he did.
He
And fair
started
play
a
to him,
new
yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
fair play to him, best luck.
Yeah, big thing as well. Fair play to you,
Big
Steve.
thing.
We love
Yeah.
you.
Big thing.
It's quarter to. I'm gigging in 15 minutes.
What's wrong now?
I'm gigging in 15 minutes, Ray. Seriously.
So it's a 8:45
yeah.
of a Monday.
Yes,
Where are
it
you
is.
going?
I'm going to Fiddler's now. Like
Right.
I'm not dressed or anything.
And what will the show contain tonight? Will there be anything interesting in it?
It'll contain about 15 minutes less if I don't go now.
Folks, I'm afraid we're going to have to cut this one short because young Kendy has to go to a gig.
Every Monday and Tuesday in Fiddler's Creek, call into me. Ray, fair play to me.
And fair play to me. See you
luck.
next week. Bye.
Good luck.